Wow, guys, honestly, thank you so much for the fantastic reception on yesterday's first episode of this brand new series here on the channel. The live premiere went down a storm. Thank you for the almost 1,500 people that were there throughout the entirety of the full 50-minute live premiere. Those of you that watched it afterwards, appreciate your support just as much, and those that were in the premiere did say that you'd like to see that sort of thing done again moving forward, whether it be for a season finale or for cup finals or opening episodes, etc. So I am going to do that more in the future. It was the first time I'd ever done it and it went down really well, so we will be doing that again. Thank you for all of your suggestions in the comment section with regards what to do with certain players, what players are going to grow, what players aren't going to grow, what to do with my money, where to scout, who to scout, etc, etc. I don't have too many names on my shortlist currently because I haven't got much money at the minute, but I'm curious as to the ratings for a number of these youngsters. Again, there's going to be plenty of opportunity later down the line to give me a number of options with regards players to buy and or bring in on a pre-contract or loans. We will be probably relying on loans and pre-contracts for at least one, if not 2 seasons. I don't want to, as was the case with previous series, I don't want to overly flood the club though with loads of pre-contracts, so I will still be limiting to 1 pre-contract per season. Not going to make this easy for ourselves. We want this to be a true challenge, so we're going to make it a challenge. Moving forward this month then, we're going to be playing Crewe, Swindon and Stevenage. We'll sim the game in the leasing.com trophy against Macclesfield. We'll sim Forest Green at home. We'll also sim Mansfield away, and we'll play Crewe away, Swindon at home and Stevenage away, that being a local derby. Currently missing Kyle Noyle for the moment through a short-term injury, but he'll be back sooner rather than later, so that's not to be worried about. We do now have the Realism mod back installed. FIFA updated it from the previous update from EA, which broke it. Tends to break every mod, but thankfully FIFA was on the ball. Unfortunately, McCourt was on the ball there for Macclesfield and equalised for them. They had to take their injured player off. Are we going to get through to the next round? Potentially not. Whitehead gives Macclesfield a 2-1 lead in the 63rd minute, and it does look like we're going to be going out of a trophy that ordinarily I say I really don't care about that trophy, and whilst I still lean that way, I have to be honest, it would be nice to have gone on a little bit of a wow, he looks like he could be very handy, Randall Williams, though he's out of my price range right now. I would have liked to have gone perhaps a little bit deeper in that competition just to get some finances under our belt. But we'll sim Forest Green, and then we've got a week until the game against Crewe. Now, the rotation side is going to be too tired for that, but we can play this team here, or sim with this team here, and hopefully we can get a decent result against Forest Green. They're a team actually that are pretty decent. They were always a team that were pretty decent at conference level when we were in the conference with Cambridge. And I can't remember whether they came up before us or they came up after us, but they're challenging in the top half of League 2 Forest Green, and on FM they actually got themselves promoted in our first season. Harvey Nibbs gives us an equaliser, and then 9 minutes later Hall gives Forest Green a 2-1 lead, and we've picked up 2 injuries there to Dallas and Davies. I do pray that they're not long term. 6 weeks for Andy Dallas. That is a big loss. Andy Dallas, our best striker, out for a considerable period of time. That's going to cause us some problems with regards to our goal scoring. Thankfully, we do have 8 strikers at the club, so squad depth-wise, it's not an issue with regards actually having the bodies to replace him. It's more having the quality to replace him and lacking that extra pace to get in behind. So I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do there. How long have we got till Kyle Noyle is back? Leon Davis is back to full fitness in 2 days. Kyle Noyle is out for longer than I thought he was. Broken ankle, 5 weeks, and Andy Dallas also 5 weeks. So we're going to have to move Davies back to right back, which isn't a problem. Then Noyle can come out, and actually I think I'm going to go with Delev on the right hand side, and then up top I think Adebayo is the one to go for purely because he has the pace. I didn't want to rely on loanees or players that weren't real-life Cambridge United players, but my hand has kind of been forced there. We do have other players that can fill those positions, but they're really not at that level yet. And whilst, yes, I want to ensure that we use a number of real-life Cambridge United players, I don't want to go too overboard with that and actually cost us the chance of, having a decent season. So, unfortunately, we're going to put Delev and Adebayo in, but it shouldn't be for more than an episode or two at most. So hopefully they can perform well. Let's have a look. Have either or any of my youth options turned 16 yet? They haven't. Decent potential for all of them though. Alex Conceição looks like he could grow into a pretty decent player. Obviously these are potential end goal stats for him, not what his current stats look like, but hopefully he can play as an outright centre mid as well. And looks like the slide tackle of 59. So even though he's down as a cam, he'd probably be very good at just an outright centre mid as well. So he's definitely is usable. And then we can use Dominic Wright as a centre back because he's 6'6". And then Elliot Griffiths is another centre mid. We'll wait and see what his. Hopefully he can grow, is what we'll say. We'll probably end up sending him out on loan, but I will probably add another couple of training regimes to train those youngsters. Now we'll play in the. Actually, let's play. We can play in the home kit here, away from home. You guys were keen on the idea of using different kits each season. Might wait a season or two before changing, but from probably season 3 onwards, we will be changing the kit with Cambridge United. Still keeping the Mick Jaws and the Hummel, but we'll be changing the theme of the kit. And also, you guys were on board with altering the stadium as we progress through the leagues as well. So we'll also be doing that. Moving forward though, it's time to crack on and play Crewe away from home. Do drop the video a like if you enjoy, of course, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any further content here. The series will, of course, be daily, as is all of the content on the channel. But for now, let's crack on. Crewe's 11. Jaskalainen in goal. Perry Ng at the back. Eddie Nolan, Oliver Lancashire, Harry Pickering. Daniel Powell out wide. Could be pretty pacey and tough to deal with. They're going with a 4-3-3 to counter my 4-4-2. Let's see which one comes out on top. Hopefully it's the 4-4-2. Powell immediately looking to use that pace down the right-hand side. I do think he's going to be a real handful today. This is good football from Crewe to start off with as well. Powell runs into the defender, but they get the lucky break. Green back to Perry Ng. Powell picked off by Reggie Lamb nicely, and the counter-attack is on. Taft to cross here to Delev. This is the first time I've used him. Get it down the line there to Adebayo and turn and look for Delev again. I've got options here, one of which here is Jack Rolls. And we'll look for Harvey Knibbs through that gap. And Knibbs gives us an early 1-0 lead after 9 minutes. Harvey Knibbs gets his first goal in a played game for us and his second of the episode. We lead by a goal to 0 away from home against Crewe. The way they started going the other way, I thought we were really going to be up against it. But we've been, to be fair, we probably will be still. But a brilliant first counter-attack. Lovely ball there by Jack Rolls into the path of Harvey Knibbs' run. Superb placement of the pass. And Jack Rolls has gone up a rating to 65 already as well. What a start to the first played game in the episode. Harvey Knibbs with his second goal of the League 2 season. Across to Lowry, back to Green again. We saw the way Crewe built earlier on, and it was very well done. And they look to do that again. Oh, I tried to squeeze that through a gap that closed, and it's going to cost me. No, it's not. Dimi Mitov! He was superb in the RTG last year, and with us all the way to the Premier League as my starting goalkeeper, and it's because of saves like that. He always plays above his rating. Brilliant save from Dimi Mitov, and he did it in the last. He did it in the last episode as well. I genuinely thought that was in there for a moment, but thankfully, wide of the target. We'll get that inside, and we'll look to build down the left. Port Vale have gone 1-0 up against Plymouth. I don't know yet who our promotion rivals are. I don't even know whether we're going to be contending for promotion yet, but who's challenging at the top of the league, I'm not sure at this stage, and to be fair, it's very early days. We were 10th at the end of yesterday's episode, but only 2 points off first spot, so it's always very close in Leagues 1 and 2, and to be fair, most of the time in the Championship as well, throughout the league. There very rarely tends to be, a group that race away like the top 6 do in the Premier League. It's always a case of anyone really can beat anyone in the lower leagues in England, but not because everybody's terrible, just because the quality is that good. And, we can't deny them the corner there. There are a lot of sides that come up from the conference and go back-to-back promotions. The quality of standard in the lower leagues in England is very high in real life. The amount of football that gets played that is of real quality is surprising to those that aren't necessarily accustomed to seeing lower league teams play every week. But half an hour in here, Crewe are going to take this corner short, and Lowry will get it in, but Reggie Lamb's in the way. I'm trying to get rid of it as best I can, but we haven't gotten it properly clear, and Lancashire is going to find Porter, and Crewe do have their equaliser, and that goal has been coming. It's 1-1 after half an hour. They fire back. Maris go out wide to Leon Davis, and Delev can make the run. Unfortunately, not able to find him. And here come Crewe again. Had me on the back foot for the majority of the game so far. Certainly being the better team to this point in the game. Trying hard to keep them out for a second time. Think, judging by this first half's performance from Crewe, we would be very pleased to take home a point. Oh, no, what have you... Oh, my God. I've asked him to clear it by powering up the X button, and it's not registered him as being in control. So he's done a slide tackle in thin air to nothing and just laid it... Oh my God, can you believe it? Yeah, exactly my same reaction, mate. The hell was that? Oh, I don't press B to clear anymore because you tend to get poorer clearances with it. So I press and hold X to clear with a long pass kind of thing to try and get better clearances. But in that instance, it didn't register the defender as being in possession. So it registered him as doing a slide tackle. Delev is just destroying their line here. Defensive line, and just racing through everyone. So it registered a slide tackle. Nibs could be in. He's had a boy, but he's headed wide. Oh, we could have instantly responded. Oh, if we lose this game by 2-1 to that goal, I will be furious. Maris to Nibs. To Maris again. Looking for Adebayo. Played in well. Nibs is arriving. We'll look for him here. Found well. Maris through the gap. Oh, no, it was Jack Rolls through the gap. I tried to turn it. Oh, I thought it was Maris bursting through, and he can score the occasional ripper from distance, as he has done in real life, as he has done in previous Cambridge United saves. That's a lovely ball over the top there. Swept up wide to Kirk here. What a switch that was. He's got me running all over the place with Jones, who's come on for for Leon Davis, who was running low on stamina. Get this out wide here to Delev. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Delev, but if there are any Bulgarians in the chat, do let me know if my pronunciation is on point or not good enough there, and I shall adjust accordingly. Here's Anena, picked off by Jones, who's come on for Leon Davis. Delev into Adebayo. Maris is just dropped there, holding nicely. Reggie Lamb's through that gap, and I've got ball in here to Adebayo, looking for Nibs not once but twice and failing both times, and there's only 20 minutes to go now. Crewe, to this point, look like they're going to be getting a 2-1 win thanks to that outrageous second goal. We are building well in a number of scenarios at the minute. Jack rolls to Harvey Nibs. Delev back to him. Oh, that was meant to go through to Jack Rolls. We're encamped on the edge of their box here. Adebayo looks to spin and turn and get away, but he can't. Just no room for a shot with so many red and white shirts back there. They've gone full one depth, dropped back on defence, and are putting in a stern defensive effort to keep us out. Kirk will turn and drift and try and get the ball away from me, and he's done really well to do so. Here's Lowry. Back to Kirk again. Oh, nice interception by Jones, but it looks like we're going to run out of time here, and Crewe are going to get, I'd say, an undeserved victory. They have been the better side, though. I can't really deny that, unfortunately. But still, to lose a game to that second goal really hurts. Swept to Wintle. Out here to Kirk. Well, blocked by Jones, but it'll be a corner now. Carruthers has come on for Jack Rolls in the midfield as Rolls' stamina again lets him down, unfortunately. Something I could certainly consider working on the training ground. Try and improve his stamina. Carruthers will get it forward, and Delev does get to it first. Can he get to the second ball? No. Pickering does well. Crew are looking to make another change. They've made 2 already. Kirk in again on this left-hand side, but I tell you what, even though he's the only player on my transfer list, Jones, he's come off the bench here and actually had a positive impact. So maybe, even at 31 or 32 years of age, he could have a part to play this season. Nibs will look to get that around the corner there to Harrison Dunk, and he's done it brilliantly. And Dunk will get away from the challengers. Harrison Dunk into the middle. I need someone to pull this back to. The defender gets something on it, and that's probably going to be the end of our game. I tell you what, he might only be under 6 foot, Greg Taylor, but he does win his fair share of headers. Delev's touch lets him down there, though, and that will be the end of our attacking efforts in this game. It will be 2-1 or 3-1 if they complete this attack, but I don't think the ref's going to allow them to, and he won't. But to lose in that fashion is devastating. That wasn't really anyone's fault other than the game not registering me as being in possession and telling him to do a slide tackle. Maybe that's the risk of pressing and holding X rather than pressing B for a clearance. We didn't have as many chances. They certainly edged it on creativity. Perhaps Crew deserved the win, but to get it in that manner is pretty unfair. A difficult game today. We're not lacking in confidence, though. We are lacking a couple of starters, though. It wasn't our best day, but we shall bounce back, hopefully. I wasn't disappointed in the way we played, but we will concentrate on what we can do better moving forward. We'll have a simulated game midweek against Mansfield in between now and the next game that we'll play at home against Swindon. And it's Reggie Lamb that's happy with the amount of first-team football he's getting now. I do want to actually go and add a new training regime as per some of those new youngsters. So I'll do that after this sim game against Mansfield and before the played game against Swindon. But we'll see what we can do away from home at Field Mill. It's actually a pretty decent stadium for this level, Mansfield's. Very good stadium. Delev scores from the spot, but Danny Rose gives them an equaliser after 24 minutes. They've got Nicky Maynard up top, who's a very experienced and capable goal scorer. And Taft has been sent off after 54 minutes. And then Nicky Maynard gives Mansfield the lead. A red card for our centre-back will see us lose by 2-1 again. Now, is that directly a result of the red card? Probably. A suspension for Taft, and that's really not going to do us any favours moving forward. I'm going to go and sort out my training regimes, go and add another couple, and then I'll see you in the game against Swindon. Swindon's 11. Owen Doyle up top. Lloyd Isgrove is a decent player out wide. We've got Danny Rose in midfield as well. There are a couple of Danny Roses in this division. Woolery on the left-hand side. Caddis at right back. Bender in goal. 4-2-3-1 for them, which is a formation you tend to see a lot more at higher levels than in lower league football. But Swindon going for it here. And to be fair, they were a League One side for quite a while, Swindon. So they've only, in recent times, found themselves down in League Two again. There are a couple of other players starting in this game for me due to suspension in Taft's case and tiredness or injury elsewhere. So I'll just quickly show you. We've got Sam Smith starting up top. Samir Carruthers at centre mid had Jack Rolls, who was tired, and Harry Darling at centre back. And Delev and Davies probably won't last the full 90 here in this particular game either. But hopefully we can have a decent performance in front of our own fans. Nibs will turn well, and I've got support here from George Maris. Cross to Sam Carruthers, who hit the post in the first episode and has a shot well blocked there to deny us the chance at the beginning of this one. Maris delivers well, and underneath this could have been Harry Darling, but he ran too far underneath it. Unfortunately, we will get the throw though. Short here is Delev. Let's it down well. Carruthers is there. Around the corner for Sam Smith. Steps away from the defenders well, and we'll look for Harvey Nibs. Now, can he get into that space? No. Danny Rose steps in nicely. We said yesterday that this was going to be a particularly difficult opening season. I don't expect us to be getting promoted this year. I'd be pleased with a top half finish. It's going to be a properly long-term RTG, this one. We've had 8 seasons at Cambridge in the past and 8 seasons at Leeds in the last series, and this may well be a series that goes for more seasons than that. It might well take us 6 years to get to the Premier League, but I don't mind that. I'm in it for the long haul with Cambridge United, and you guys tend to be the same with these long-term RTG saves. So I ask, even if we're not immediately successful, please do stick with the series. Give us time to grow and become the team that we know we can be in a Cambridge United RTG. It's going to take your long-term support to get us through this series, and I desperately hope that you'll stick with me, because they're my favourite team. It's my favourite series. It's your favourite series. And hopefully you'll stick with it throughout. Woolery is going to take a corner here for Swindon. And Doyle wins the header, but actually heads it away from goal. Maris, his clearance isn't the best. Woolery will get that back into the middle. And here's Isgrove. And Doty, shot blocked. Can we deny them a corner? No. From the wide position again. Woolery, 23 minutes played. Corner comes in. Keeper will come for this. Get a decent punch with decent distance on it. But can't bring it down there with Delev. Still the pressure continues on our goal. Reggie Lamb trying his best. He's Broadbent. Can we get that? Oh, tried to dive into the challenge. Here's Cadiz. Delivery's decent. It's really good. And we're 1-0 down. Woolery has been taking the corners and delivering the ball. Is on the end of the delivery this time. And Swindon lead. Floated ball to the back post. Defence couldn't deal with it. Keeper caught in no man's land. Thought about coming. Didn't really commit either way. And a simple header to give them a 1-0 lead. Here's Woolery driving forward and waiting for a turn inside. He's drifted outside. He's running low on stamina here. Swindon seem to be in a similar position with their squad and the issues with stamina due to a busy lower league fixture schedule. Dimi Mitov tips that away nicely. I thought actually the man that was played in down the line was offside. Harrison Dunk racing forward from left back. It's a winger by trade, Harrison, but can play in a left-back role. At least always was a winger back in the early days of his career. Maris will get this forward here to Carruthers. It's a nice ball, and Sammy Carruthers just gets to it, but Hunt comes away with the ball. It's been a frustrating first half here. We could yet end it with some positives. If I could just keep hold of possession, that would be lovely. Oh, finally, we've got the ball back again. Right, let's have one chance at the end of the game, or the end of the half, shall we? Is Delev going to go again? Oh, he refused to. And the pass was poor as well. Ball is just trading hands quickly here. Nibs trying to find some space. Looks for Maris. Out round the corner is Reggie Lamb, who's in the box. Reggie equalises for Cambridge. We score at the Abbey Stadium in stoppage time at the end of the first half. My God, did we have to be patient there. The ball was just pinballing around. They had possession. We had possession. We won it back. We gave it away. They gave it back to me. Oh, and finally, 2 or 3 passes string together. Space for Reggie Lamb and an equalising goal. And it's well taken too. More of that in the second half, please. Woolery's gone on a run all the way down the line here. He's run straight into Delev at the end of it. We counter. Smith. Cross to Maris. All gonna have to be patient in the build-up. We can't just... I'm so used to, with my old Leeds team, just flying forward on the counter and being able to play the right pass at the right time and have players be in the right place at the right time every single counter-attack. It's not the case here at Cambridge, nor should we really have expected it to be, but it doesn't make it any easier knowing that that's the case. Oh, don't foul in there. They just kind of ran into each other and clashed legs, and I thought for a minute we might be giving away a silly penalty there. Nibs gets that to Sam Smith, who will look to get away. Delev is on the run, and we'll play him in. He's running low on stamina and might not be long for the subs bench, Delev, but we'll pull this back to Samir Carruthers and into Harvey. Nibs, he's sat up nicely. The shot deflects right to the keeper. Not that there was much venom behind the effort anyway before it hit the defender. It was just trickling towards the goal. Delev got support. Carruthers forward to Nibs. Into Sam Smith. Bit of footwork maybe. Oh, it's not really going to happen for me. Maris with the turn. Smith's in. And we'll let fly. It's blocked well. We're creating chances though in this second half, which is good news. But they're not yet chances that are going to threaten the Swindon goal. Nicely done by Harry Darling. Carruthers. Forward there to Nibs. Around the corner. Delev finds Sam Smith. Could we be going in front? It's going to fall free. Keeper does just enough. We really have started this second half very well indeed, but no goal yet. Doyle around the corner to Rose again. Whipped, but Davies is underneath it twice. Well done. Sam Carruthers forward to Smith. Having to drop deep to get involved here, Sam Smith, but you've got to do what you've got to do in situations like this. Working the ball about nicely. Carruthers is there, available in the middle again. We'll go through that gap looking for Nibs actually, and quickly there to Sam Smith. And I've got runners around me. Oh, just shows some strength to hold the man off. And George Maris is in behind. Maris! Oh, misses the target. Oh, what a chance. I had an opportunity to square it potentially as well, but decided to go for goal. Such is my confidence in George Maris's finishing ability. Unfortunately, that confidence was misplaced this time. Knowles and Jones are on here, and actually I'm going to take Sam Smith off for Luke Hannon, and I'm going to move Reggie Lamb up top to striker. He scored a good goal already in today's game. Hopefully he could be involved in a second. Let's see what we can do in the final 20. Lamb to Nibs, just needs to hold off the defenders here. He's doing a brilliant job. I mean, I don't really know what he's done there, other than just throw himself to the floor needlessly. Dunk wins it back though, and good footwork. And round the corner to Reggie Lamb. Now Nibs has gone again. Oh, but it's a poor pass. Sammy Carruthers is through there. Takes it in his stride well. Carruthers. Oh no, he's at the post again. Oh, he did it yesterday. So desperately unlucky not to have a goal, Sammy Carruthers. Unreal. And then unfortunately just couldn't get the ball under control again properly when it came back straight to him off the post. They've made a change and brought Palmer on for Rose. We've been the better side in this second half, which is very pleasing considering how underperforming we were against Crewe. I've been really pleased with the way that the side has played in this game, and we have to count ourselves unlucky not to be in front. There is still time for either side to win it, however, and if we're to lose it in the final 10 minutes, I feel that that is really unjustified. And Darling with the acrobatic clearance there, which was absolutely needed because that was going to drop straight to the striker otherwise. Conroy on for Cadiz for them. Corner to come in here towards the back post, and Nibs will get rid of it. Darling chasing after it. Broadbrent brings it down. Doty, Darling gets in the way. Nicely done. And we'll just make sure we keep possession here. Around the corner with Maris to Jones, who has the fresh legs to maybe push forward from wing back. And we've got the opportunity to catch them on the counter here. Reggie Lamb. Go forward to... Oh, no. Poor pass in the end. I think we might have to settle for a 1-1 draw here. A point is good, but the way that we've played, we deserve a win in this one. And I'm going to be disappointed that we don't get it. Oh, we'll get rid of this quickly. Oh, my God. That was a terrible clearance. But thankfully, the whistle goes and we don't pay for it. A 1-1 draw against Swindon where we probably deserved victory. And a 2-1 defeat against Crewe where we probably deserved a point. Oh, that's hard to take. 1 point when we probably should have had 4 from those opening 2 games. Not to worry. Not to worry. Of the 3 games today that I would have wanted to win, if I was only to win 1, then it would be the game against Stevenage. 2 very strong defences. We should have won that game. We certainly should have won. Woolery was one of their best players. He certainly took his goal well. But we were so much better in that second half. Really promising, but still frustrating not to be able to actually make that dominance pay. Sammy Carruthers did very well, actually. But now I've added a couple of extra training regimes. A second passing one to try and improve our ability on the ball, and then one purely for the regens as well, with my Scout Future Star, the centre mid we've already called up, and the right back that I'm probably going to use at centre back because he's 6'6". Currently 16th in the league. And actually one thing you guys pointed out to me that I wasn't aware of, or we've got some scout reports back on the people on the shortlist, is that where the board said that they wanted me in the league to avoid finishing in the bottom part of the league, what that actually means is avoid finishing in what would be the relegation zone. Of course, if the conference were in the game, 23rd and 24th place would be relegated from the league. You guys have informed me that that specific wording doesn't actually mean finish in the top half as I initially thought. It does mean stay out of the bottom 2 in League 2. So basically, the board are happy with just avoiding what would be relegation this season if we can. And so far, we're 4 points above the relegation zone and 4 points off the playoffs. So solidly mid-table to this point. But if we can get ourselves a win against Stevenage, then we'll be in a great position to push forward from there for the rest of the season. Let's have a look at those scout reports now. So Tucker's 60 rated, although he's got good physicals, so certainly could be trained and grow. And he's only 19 years of age as well, Jack Tucker. Definitely a potential. Brandon Mason at left back, probably going to be a League One level signing, as are the rest of the options here. But certainly Tucker we could consider signing. How much is he worth? 1.6 mil. Yeah, these guys are all out of my price range currently, but should they become available on a pre-contract, I wouldn't say no to signing any of them, I don't think. Brandon Mason looks like he'd be very good as a starting left-back. Courtney Senior looks like he'd be very good as a wide midfielder for our level. And he actually played very well against us for Colchester in the game we played against them yesterday. Randell Williams, we saw the scout report back for. He could play anywhere on the right-hand side, so a brilliant utility player. Definitely keen on potentially signing him. And Yanis Antiste, I'm not sure about him, to be fair. I'm going to remove him from the shortlist entirely. But any of these four, I would be open to signing, actually. So thank you for your continued suggestions. I do have my scouts out looking at players that would be available on a pre-contract in January. So all of these guys would be available on a pre-contract. There is a lot of options here, and I will start scouting them in the not too distant future so that we have those reports available for January. Now then, we have the opportunity to raise the morale of the side. Season off to a great start. The whole squad will need to play a role, but clearly the media expected us to get relegated as well. So to be 16th and they're happy shows that we're actually not doing that bad a job. How have we prepared? I feel like we're ready. We were so much better in that second game against Swindon. If we can perform like that again, then we could be very good value for a win here against Stevenage. Everybody's back now, other than Noyle and Dallas. So fingers crossed we can perform as we want to. Actually, Sam Smith impressed me in that game, so I'm going to put Sam Smith on the bench. I know he's a loanee, but he did impress me in that game. Jack Rolls is going to have his work cut out at the minute to keep hold of that starting position, because Samir Carruthers, every time he's come off the bench, has performed. But right now, it's time to travel not far south to Stevenage for our first local derby of the season. Stevenage's starting lineup. Paul Digby's a decent player. Joel Byron will be difficult to deal with, but they're playing a 4-1-4-1. So they've gone defensive against the Stevenage. They are troubled in real life at the bottom of League 2. So this should be, on paper, a game that we should win. Here's Leasley down the left for Stevenage at the beginning of the game. Intrigued to see. Oh, Greg. No! Intrigued to see what we're going to be like in this game with full stamina again, after it felt like I was more getting to grips with how the side were playing in that last game. I did say yesterday that it's probably going to take a little while to settle in with this Cambridge team, become accustomed to how lower league football is going to play comparatively to, late 80s rated players for Leeds United. But the last game, I felt really good in that second half, and I'm hoping that that's a sign of things to come for this Cambridge team moving forward. If we can replicate that on a consistent basis, then we could be in for a decent season. If we could just pick up a decent run of back-to-back wins, just 3 or 4 wins in a row, a couple of times in the year, then that will put us in a great position to challenge for the playoffs. And I'm going to try and turn inside the defender here. That hasn't really worked as I'd hoped, but Jack Rolls can't give us a 1-0 lead. That turn wasn't anywhere near what I expected to get when I tried it, unfortunately. That's the difference between the Leeds players and these players. Again, Rolls, oh God, that backline of 4 midfielders and a defender is going to be really hard to break down, and Nibs is trying his hardest to find a way through. You get through the midfield 4, and then there's an extra man to break through, and then you finally get through him, and there's another 4 defenders sat there, only 2 yards away, in another line trying to break you down. So difficult to build against such a defensive outlet. But we shall continue to try, continue to persevere, and I'm sure eventually we'll get what we're after. To be fair, they've pushed a lot of men forward here, and this isn't the first time we've caught them on the counter like this. Nibs' great first touch. We'll look for Adebayo, who's in behind here. Adebayo! Oh! What a goal! Finish and a half from Adebayo. We lead away from home at Stevenage. Thumping finish. I want to see a new replay of that, please, from a different angle, because that was a powerful finish. Great through ball. Not racing away from the defence, but pure shot power. And to be fair, the accuracy of it as well. Straight into that top corner. Not too dissimilar, actually, from Andy Dallas's goal yesterday. What a finish. Love that. 1-0 Cambridge. Leasley down the line to Arsback. Leasley cross to Arsback again. Into Leasley again. Stevenage are easily the worst side in League Two in real life in the past season. Find themselves bottom of the table, having lost countless games in a row, and they're 10 points from even 23rd in League Two at this stage of the season, or as far as the season actually got. So if ever there was a game that you feel like we should be winning, it is this one. And Nibs is, I tell you what, Nibs is dribbling. If his finishing hasn't been all that so far, his ball control has been pretty good. So I'm probably going to look to use him more as the creator for someone else to be the finisher in my attacking. James Wilding got to that much quicker than anyone else. He raced onto it. Kennedy, tackled by Dunk, and denies them the corner as well, and turns away and clears nicely. That is expertly done, and Maris has the space to find Delev on the far side. We'll lay this inside to Adebayo again, who could replicate his finish. A different one this time, but same result. Adebayo makes it Cambridge 2, Stevenage 0. I needed someone to step up to the plate in place of the injured Andy Dallas, and Adebayo has duly done that. 2 goals for him today, and he's standing out right now as the best striker we have at the club. Kennedy with the throwback. Wilding does well. His side there to Byron. Kennedy down the line, but Dunk should get to that first. Terrible pass though, and it will cost us a goal. I tried to play that with Dunk to the man that's, well, man that's in the middle, and he's unfortunately not picked out the man I aimed it at. Vitov Kane made himself big. Got himself unlucky not to have been able to keep that out, really. If we're to do anything this season, I'm going to have to cut mistakes like that out of my game. Be a little bit more patient with how I get rid of the ball. I'm not going to be able to find balls that are going to be accurate in that scenario with players at this level. I'm just going to have to take an extra minute, stay calm, stay composed, and play it about calmly and slowly and not rush things. Almost going to have to treat it like FUT Champions, more so than playing career mode. Oh, thankfully, Adebayo had made it 2-0, so we still have a lead in this game. And Jack Rolls could continue his run here. Unfortunately, not able to find him. Try and win that back, but can't. Let's ensure that we keep the lead, shall we? Thankfully, their pass there was terrible. Tell you what is going to be very important this year, and with players at this level, is the morale system. Giving players the boost that you get at the higher level isn't going to make as much of an impact as it is at this level. Someone having 85 in a certain stat rather than 80 isn't going to make that much difference to their outcome on the field. But someone having 70 instead of 65 in a certain area at this level is going to make much more of an impact comparatively to the opposition. So keeping morale high in press conferences and with managing people's play time and their performance levels is going to be vital to ensuring we have a good season here at Cambridge United. So far this season, we've done a good job of managing morale, but I am going to have to keep an eye on it and make sure that I keep on top of it. Tough does well there to win the ball back. And so far in this game, outside of the one mistake for their goal, we have defended very well. Nibs is on his way through here, and we'll look to find him. And can he make it 3-1? Yes, he can. He had to take his time to wind up for it, but we've extended the lead back to 3. Considering at times they've been impossible to break down Stevenage, they've also committed a lot of bodies forward, and I've caught them on the counter here a couple of times now. And they've only got themselves to blame, as I do for their goal. 3-1 up, we're getting 3 points, and this could shoot us right up the table. Do a goal difference, the world are good too. Maris, inside to Carruthers. Turns well and forward to Adebayo, who's on a hat-trick. I don't think we're going to get the opportunity to try and extend our lead and get him a third goal, although we might do. Carruthers is running well here, and Adebayo is there. Can we get past the defender? I don't think so. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to just lose possession for the sake of trying to force the hat-trick. Oh, did we get caught there? I felt like we did. Perhaps should have had a free kick or a penalty, but as the ball goes out here, the final whistle will go. Big 3 points, and considering it's against the local rival, the most satisfying 3 points of the season so far. Really pleased with the way that we've played in the majority of today's episode. Outside of that Crew game, we've just shown progression and growth and improvement throughout the course of the entire episode. Really pleased with A, how the series has gone down so far with you guys, and B, how the series is going so far on the field of play as well. We're ready to turn things around. Adebayo was outstanding today. I think he'll start next time around again for sure. Now we'll head into the next month. That's moved us up to 13th in the table, but we are keeping tabs on those above us with a win there. And if we, as I mentioned, if we can put together 2 or 3 wins in a row at this level, that really fires you right up the table. So we're 13th now, and we're only 3 points outside the playoffs, and Colchester in 7th. Top of the table, Swindon are leading the way so far, but we were able to get a point against them today, and actually with a better side in that second half. Forest Green up there too. They beat us in that simulated game. Newport County up there as well. Macclesfield, who we lost to in the Cup, and actually we face is the first game of tomorrow's episode, up there as well. Mansfield, who we also struggled against, up in 8th. I'm relatively happy with that season so far. 13 goals, 13 conceded. Perhaps a little bit leakier a defence than I might have liked. But outside of that, I think we're looking pretty good so far. Considering the state of the squad, I'm very pleased. And hopefully you guys are as well. Do let me know how you think we're getting on in the comment section down below. 659 to 83. He's really low rated currently though, but valued at 110k maybe. I'll wait to see what their positions are definitively first, because I don't want to just have a number of players in one position that aren't going to be that good. I'm going to say no to you because your potential isn't that good. 14. Wow, that's the loads of 14-year-olds here. I didn't know you could get 14-year-olds. You look like you could be pretty decent. You're very good at 14 as well. Sign. Don't care where you play. You're going to be decent. Max Hughes is going to be a no. Callum Hill, probably a no as well. That'll be a no too. I don't want to just needlessly fill the youth squad with loads of players that are only going to be average. I want to get the best of the best, and then outside of that, rely on what I've already got. So then, Marcus Wilson, a left back, 6 foot, 57 rated currently at 14 years of age. What promise is he going to show? 14 and already 57 rated. Wow. We could have a real gem on our hands there at left back with Marcus Wilson. Very keen to see how he grows. That's very promising. Right then, tomorrow we start with Macclesfield. Who else do we have? Macclesfield, Salford, Exeter, Grimsby and Northampton. Northampton is a local derby as well. We'll probably play Macclesfield because they're higher in the league. We'll play Salford because Salford is a popular team at this level with a viewing audience. We'll sim Exeter at home and Grimsby at home and then play Northampton. I think that's how we'll do the next episode. Right, thank you very much for watching, boys. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too to ensure you don't miss out on any further content. Someone was on their way back from injury there. Who was it? Andy Dallas. Not quite fit yet. Not quite fit yet. But on his way. Right then. Tomorrow is going to be really, really good, hopefully. And we can maybe push towards those playoff spots. Although I am happy with how things are going so far. It's the 1st of May already. Jesus, where has this year gone? I will see you guys tomorrow at midday for episode number 3.